microphone.
Yep.
Only 42 minutes late. That's okay. Go walk your dog, and we will definitely still be here.
Definitely. That seems like that's a bet I would not make.
Well, who knows? I mean, with everything that's been going on.
What's been going on, Uel?
Well, I meant to change the title of the video, but I didn't press send until about 20 minutes prior.
Okay.
That's one thing.
Oh, to represent the delay?
No, just that it said a first look at Powers of X.
So it's a second look?
Third
look.
This will be an any look is what it is.
Lucky to be looking.
Lucky to be looking.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Good. Okay, so I did bring some. I brought things from the store though, so you can see what I'm going to be talking about.
Did you just steal from yourself?
Is that even possible?
It is. It definitely is.
Well, I am not doing. The only person who's getting stolen from is myself.
Wait, but who's doing the stealing? You.
Yeah.
So who's still? Oh, hey Fantinuum. Hey Diablo. Is Bruja here? Corey had to go. I was talking to her on the phone.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, sorry for screwing up, everybody. What happened was, do they know?
Yeah, I told them if they're here if they were there. Eli was in the chat. I saw him.
Really? Oh man, I really screwed up everything.
You did. You dropped the ball, man. You were completely to blame for that happening.
Yeah, really, I was.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was your fault. 102%.
Yeah. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Yes. Bruja, hello. Fantinuum, what's up?
That's spaghetti.
Diablo's walking his dog. No big deal.
I had beers from my friend's brewery, and I was going to ask everybody what they wanted me to try for the show.
Booze. Are you drinking booze, sir?
I am right now. See?
Oh.
In my X-Men cup. Can you see that? Yeah, pretty cool.
See.
That's a very classic Dave Cockrum cover of Uncanny X-Men. John Byrne did this stuff on the inside.
What's on the inside? Oh, I got you.
Just great stuff.
As with all comic books, the cover's different from the interior.
Well, in this case, it was a improvement.
It doesn't matter. The point remains. The cover doesn't represent what's inside.
Right.
At least it didn't when I was growing up.
So we talked about Sturm Brightblade one episode when I said I wasn't quite sure how to pronounce this. Strum.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Remember?
Yes.
And it's my buddy's. It's her brewery with her husband.
And now you have beer at the house?
Well, it's not their beer. Mine's still at the store in case we ever do it for the show. Oh. They have a bunch of different flavors that they sent up with my cousin who came to visit me. And one of them is peanut butter flavor.
I'm sorry, peanut butter beer?
I don't even understand it, but I can't wait to try it.
I don't know if flavor is the term that I would use to describe booze, but okay, I get you.
All right, I didn't mean it.
No, I'm not criticizing you, but I think peanut butter sounds disgusting.
Peanut butter.
No, peanut butter is good, but peanut butter beer, well, hold on. I'm thinking now of Guinness, and that's probably not that far from peanut butter, right?
Ugh, that sounds horrible.
What, Guinness?
I'm not a fan. Too dark.
Yeah, you know how my buddy loves IPAs, and I just can't stand them. I always think back to those bitter beer face commercials. Like, do you have bitter beer face? And it's like some guy that's got like an anus for a mouth, basically, you know?
That guy was amazing. He could turn his face inside out like a glove.
My uncle could do that too. He called it fish face. It was pretty cool.
Fish face.
Yeah, where you suck in your cheeks and you go.
Yeah, all right, very good.
I can't really do it. It's hard. I've also got less malleable cheeks than I used to. I don't know.
All right, we've got at least one Guinness fan in the chat.
Guinness is all right. What is the drink that I had once? It was Bass Ale. I think it's called an Irish Car Bomb.
What, you drop something into it?
You do. And I think it's a shot of Bacardi 180 on fire dropped into a Bass Ale. And then you just go chug, 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 and it tastes like Dr. Pepper.
All right.
It's pretty amazing.
What's the a Boilermaker? Which one's that?
Dude, I don't know. You want to get into this? Because I've got Google.
I think that's like Jägermeister dropped in.
I'm not down with Jaeger. I'm not down with that stuff. I don't like licorice flavored anything unless it's licorice. I
do not like the licorice flavor.
Anise?
No, I can't stand it.
I'm not a huge fan. I like black licorice in small doses.
If you like it, then you know you're always going to get those jujubes that everybody leaves behind.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bruja. I'm sorry.
What?
Her hubby's into beer. Like,
you're sorry.
I am. I am.
I'm sorry for you.
It's like, you know how some people are super into weed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can hear my dog.
You have a... Never mind.
You know I have a dog.
I know, but it's a small dog, and for some reason it doesn't count.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Hey, would you like me to show you my room?
Yeah.
I'm going to swing my camera just a little bit, everybody.
Okay, so I haven't really looked at this place since it's been remodeled, redecorated, and reset up.
So this is right across from where I am. Oh my gosh, there's my window. Oh, hold on. We got Jill. She's going to come on in. So guest starring Jill, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
I want to ask a question. Feed Gizmo.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and feed him.
He's licking the bowl.
He licks the bowl. He had food in front of him. Bye, Jill.
Bye, Jill.
All right. So there's my door. Woo. Teen Titans poster. You remember this bookshelf? Has a bunch of junk on it. I put up this new X-Men poster. That's a Frank Quietly when Grant Morrison was doing it. This is a New Mutants poster by Bill Sienkiewicz. Then we have a Superman poster, classic Neil Adams cover. Classic reproduction of, or I guess a new version of a Hulk cover from way back when. And then Olivetti, I think that is doing Thor. It's pretty sweet. Sorry about the camera. Gets dark in there.
Olivetti's the guy that I think does the pinched faces. Is that right?
Yeah, kind of.
He did that Conan cover that I was critical of.
There's my bookshelf right there. Oh, that's crazy.
It looks like a big white wall space under some posters to me.
Yeah. No, this one right here.
Without you there pointing, I just don't know. I don't feel it. You know, if you can't point at it, I don't see it.
That all the way over there. See that bookshelf?
Thank you. Thank you. That is the dumbest thing I've ever asked anybody to do.
And then here we go with the these boxes. I locked them all together. Well, obviously not these two right here. And those are my X-Men and my Spider-Man boxes.
Nice.
And I'm just like, I'm getting in the situation, you know. Oh, and then over on this side is a bunch of crap in a closet. Some cool posters. Preacher. Oh yeah, I put that Hulk one up on the very top. And yeah, so there's my room. That's where we are right now. Hey everybody. I'll put that up a little bit more so you can see my hat. All right. Welcome everybody.
Thanks for the tour, man. That was cool.
Yeah. So that's my room. Say, what was that?
What's the floor look like?
It's this kind of like faux wood. Well, the floor. All right, here I'll show you. I want to do it so I can see what I'm pointing at. All right, here's what the floor looks like. The floor looks like it's got a bunch of crap all on it,
as most floors do. That's fine.
Well, I'm like I said, you know, I've got room in my bedroom, and I've got that closet space right there.
Yeah.
And I can utilize that. But what I'm doing is I'm taking everything out and then I'm putting everything away so that it can be like, you know, tagged and I know exactly what everything is. So that when I put it in the box for a very long time, I won't forget what's in it.
Yeah, likely story. You will forget. I've labeled boxes in the process of moving across the country, which I've done now too many times, and still lost things, even though a box is labeled. It's doable.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm just organizing right now. Oh hell, I didn't even show you this stuff.
How long is it going to be? Like, how long is the process going to be of you organizing?
Well, I mean, anytime I get more things, it's
Forever.
yeah, well, it is going to be forever.
It's a forever project. That's fine.
It's a forever project. Well, the thing is like what I'm trying to do is just focus on what I'm collecting.
Yes.
What am I trying to accomplish? And what am I getting right now that's going to accomplish that? Now, so some of the things I'm doing are stories.
Like arcs?
Yeah. All right. So a lot of it is just kind of recapturing my past. I haven't read everything, things slip down the memory hole and you want to find out what was going on back then that you liked things so much. Sure. So I'm buying things, I'm finding things that I didn't buy, things that I didn't like then. I probably like a lot more now than I like anything that's coming out today. So, there's all that.
Right.
I don't usually do knickknacks, but there was a time when I was doing a bunch of what are they? Well, I call them just Marvel leads. They come from England. There's this company called Eagle Moss, and yeah. Anyway, I'm going to show you what these. I got.
Were you talking about lead minis?
Yeah, lead minis. Yeah,
nice.
So these are all on my. Oh yeah, here's my desk. So we've got some comics we're going to talk about.
Can't see anything.
Oh, you can't see any of that? Oh, sorry. How's that? Comics we're going to talk about. Comics, and then right here, we've got all my minis. Well, no, not all of them, just ones that I pulled out that I want to do something with. So you can see Mysterio. You can see Sandman, Spider-Man on the outside, right next to Kraven.
Some loose change.
Yeah, it's a little hard to... There's Colossus.
I see legs. Look at those legs.
I'm going to show you that one. Yeah, inside you could see Kazar with the knife and Sabu. The only one that sucks is this one right here. Let me pull it up. This one, this Firestorm, it's not lead. It's like plastic. It's all the ones that I have in here are lead, and all the other ones I have are lead too. This must have been like from the new set. Like, look, I even have an ambush bug. That's him with the antennae.
Yeah, I see it.
And, I have Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. Those are all metal. Look at that Jay Jonah swinging his newspaper. Like,
hey, yeah, I see that too.
Goddamn Parker, give me pictures. So on and so forth. So those are my leads. Sorry about my hand and everything. I actually have a whole lot more in boxes in the closet. Those are just my Spider-Man ones and a few others. I have on the outside, we have a little wooden display thing. And in that, I have all my characters that are ladies that have some sort of sword. Elektra has size, so that's the one. But I have like Magic. She has this flaming sword. And Psylocke has her psionic sword. And yeah, stuff like that. It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, Valkyrie's in it. She has this big ass sword. It's more like a trident, but I let it swing also.
If it's a weapon of antiquity, you're good with it?
For the theme, yeah.
For the theme. Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers, right? You're trying to fill up a hole.
Yeah.
Trying to justify a section in the store. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, exactly. In my home. It's just, little knickknacks. Jill has... right above it on another level, she has like different salt and pepper shakers. Like there was a Rick and Morty one and something.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yep. Mr. Meeseeks.
Like if there's going to be a salt and pepper shaker in my life, yeah, I would say that's a good choice. That's a good choice.
She has a crazy amount. I guess that's her thing that she's collecting.
Salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah, why not? They make a lot of them. They make them all the time.
Huh. Yeah. I'm into plenty of stuff. I don't need to add one, so that's good. I'm good. Thanks, though.
If you can see up behind me right here, there's statues, busts, if you will. Those are the Bowen busts that came out in the early 2000s, the early aughts.
What is the yellowish one? Is it Craven or not Wolverine? What's his name? The brother. It's the yellowish one.
I have to go get it. Would you like me to do that?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's not like we're having a normal show.
It's super cool.
Who is that?
I'll bring him to you.
You know, what'd be cool is if I had control over your camera and I could.
So these are based off of. Well, you could just be quiet for a second. So these are based off Carlos Pacheco artwork. He's one of my faves. So that's a Superman and a Dark Side. And those are not Bowen, but these are. So this one is Moon Knight. That's pretty sweet.
That one is real nice.
Yeah, I like that. And then somewhere I have that's back here. All right, so this is Doctor Strange. That one's pretty sweet too.
Those fingers look very breakable.
Yeah, I know. Well, what do you think about this up here?
Less, but still.
And then Smash. I'll bring up these two. So we got Spider-Man. And if you see the base, it's like a cityscape.
Yep.
That's pretty nice. I like that. Tell it's an older Spider-Man too.
I like that he doesn't have arms. That's how I like my Spider-Man. Definitely.
Well, you know.
Tyler had that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember he used to have a lot of these on the kitchen counter.
Yeah, he did. You look at this. He has the satchel with his pumpkin bombs.
Yep. So it's the Moon Knight one, I think, that I saw from so far away.
Yeah. But wait, there's more.
I really like them. I think they're quite beautiful.
I agree. And then here I'll show you this one. This is a Spawn action figure. I don't usually get a lot of Spawn action figures, but over the years, there's been so many. You end up with them. I thought this one was really neat looking. Pretty cool. Green eyes. It's just some, I don't know. They were doing different versions of Spawn. I don't know what the hell it is, but I dig it. It was cool.
Yeah.
I got one of the motorcycle ones back when those came out. Those were cool. Say something.
About what?
I was just trying to get the camera off me. But
so you could take a drink? You got to take a drink? You're picking your nose. Maybe you're... Yep. I know how this goes. Yeah, I got you in one, right? I wonder, like, it's completely permitted where you are.
To pick my nose?
Yes, that too. That as well. But
okay.
I don't know, whatever.
I'm glad I'm allowed to pick my nose in my own home.
You can do that in public. Also, I guess
I can, yeah.
Yeah, no, you can. You can. People do all the time.
Do you see this on my nose right here? Do you see that?
Yeah, red dot.
Oh, son of a bitch. I've been dealing with a lot of dusty comics lately.
And so you got a zit on your nose?
I break out. Yeah, that's why I'm not necessarily, I don't consider this stuff here a mess because I'm trying to go through it.
It's your mess.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little different. But I am not a neat freak. I want to clean all this crap up and, get it in its place. But, again, with all these comics here, that's the task. that's the
forever project.
Yeah, exactly. The forever project.
Yeah.
But, I bathe once a day, whether I need it or not. At least,
you're a funny guy.
I try and do the, face wash and stuff like that. But comic books that are just musty and old are just, I itch all over. And, you try not to touch yourself, but you end up doing it. And eventually, yeah. So And not only that, not only was I dealing with comics in the store, pricing them up, grading them, putting them out, and stuff like that. Digging through some so I could sell some and things like that. I went to a customer's house to check out his comic book collection just so I could get an idea of how much work I'm going to actually have to do in order to make this work. So I crawled in underneath the house. It was pretty clean, but there's cobwebs and there's definitely concrete that's disintegrated, I guess, onto the ground. So you're kind of crawling through a bunch of crap. He's got a lot of comic books, a lot of long boxes. And then when you he was taking me all these other rooms. He could have totally taken me to some murder room, and I would have, maybe we wouldn't have had any program tonight.
Yeah,
but, I'm still here.
I'm sorry. Did you say he was keeping his boxes in places where there's like crumbling concrete?
I'm just saying that underneath the house, there's some settling that is going to occur.
Is it affecting the comic books?
No, they aren't, but it affected me having to crawl through it,
Yeah.
Wearing shorts, you get a little, you're a little scraped.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to, give you an idea of what it was like going down there.
Very exciting. It was like Indiana Jones.
I don't usually crawl under houses.
It was like getting chased by a giant ball rolling down a.
Yeah, I would be down.
And temple walls, probably some water you got to jump into at the end. I miss Indiana Jones style movies. Like, I should probably go and watch all of the National Treasure ones, but I don't think they're very good, are they?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nicolas Cage is not a good substitute for Indiana Jones. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, National Treasure as in a Nicolas Cage movie?
Several, I think.
I have no idea. Who
did The Night in the Museum? Was that him as well, or who was that?
That's
like a Jumanji movie, right?
You're stumping me. I don't know what you're talking about.
How do you not know?
I know what Jumanji is, okay?
Oh, but do you know about it because of the remake or the original with Robin?
No, I know Robin Williams was in the original.
Yeah.
They did a cartoon. I remember that.
Wait, what about a cartoon?
They did a Jumanji cartoon. I think it was like on USA or something.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah. I just know of it.
A long period of time where I was not aware of any television.
I can't remember, but I think it kind of had like that squiggly vision kind of style. Not exactly, but
like rotoscope?
No. I don't know what I mean.
I don't know what you mean by squiggly vision.
Maybe more. It was more like Richard Sala artwork, is what it looked like.
Anyway, you're at home, get some Richard Sala out. No,
I don't have anything.
Whoa!
I probably have something, but it would be in another book, like Deadline.
Would it take us a half hour to find it?
At least.
Okay, good. We'll do this after the show.
Okay, all right, very good.
Or we can turn this into the rest of the show.
Well, I could just start digging through boxes.
I was watching the Mutant Menaces video on.
Do tell, House of X
comic. It was good, but then you called in the middle with the technical issues. Your fault.
I see what you're
saying. Again, I mean, I'm gonna have to give him a thumbs down. I'm gonna have to,
Why?
Because you interrupted me during the video.
I don't think anybody should be thumbs downing some other person's.
Oh no, I'm gonna even give him a nasty review and tell him that my viewing enjoyment was interrupted by Uel Carter, and because of that, I am downvoting him. I'm going to unsub, and I think that's right and fair.
Don't do it on the Fantastic Comics account.
I don't do anything on YouTube with that account other than put this show up.
I want you to know that I thought it was a very, very informative and interesting review of the comic book. It let you know.
You watched the whole thing?
I did watch the whole thing.
It was good to start with. I watched the first half.
I really enjoyed. Did you hear what he was saying about Jerusalem?
Yes. Yeah, that's about where a little further than that is where it got interrupted by Uel Carter.
Yeah. So what it is in Jerusalem in House of X #1 right here. That's where the meeting with Magneto and some of the world leaders are occurring. And Mutant Menace talks about how Jerusalem is basically, called the first city, and how it houses all the major religion. Well, Muslim and
Yeah, they all fight over.
Christianity and Judaism, and it's very, and Magneto is a Jew, so that's another thing. And just anyway, just how they have it there is really cool. And he gets into the nuts and bolts of some of the things like the Orcus organization that goes on in the book. And I really appreciate what he did. I think it's really good. Good review. I highly recommend everybody go see The Mutant Menace after we're done here. If you have.
Yes. You know what? Pause this show and just go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'll just sit here.
We'll be here all night.
Just like this.
All night.
Just like this. All night. Tell us when you get back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it was one of the better reviews I've seen on House of X. Some of it was a little too much. I mean, I don't know. It was a dissection of it. It obviously said so up front. So I don't have any problems with it at all. It was very good. Good video. We should have done stuff like that back in the day.
Well, you know what? We were just too lazy.
It's all right. It took him forever anyway.
That video did?
No, he put a lot of work in it. He did a great job. Cody, the guy who did it, he's very good. I appreciate that.
Right on.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the book?
I loved it. Well, all right. I shouldn't say that.
Did it do any of the things you don't like?
No, nothing at all. No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. It did everything
Blank
well.
white pages don't bother you at all.
I'm going to be forgiving of it regardless.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't believe he did it. I don't believe he did it at all. Jonathan Hickman is a very good writer. We were talking about it, me and my buddy Jeff, one day, and it's really hard to say I like it because, you're not going to sit down for a meal. This is what we came up with. You're not going to sit down for a meal and, you got some bread given to you and you're going to say, oh my God, this was a great meal.
I love breadsticks.
Well, bread's very, I like good bread.
It's like Olive Garden, man. You show up at the Olive Garden and you just mad down on the breadsticks. You place your order and then you run.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't necessarily get a great meal just because the breadstick and the bread was very good up front. But having said that, I feel excited and rejuvenated and just everybody in the store that was coming. We sold out very quickly. Other stores throughout the country sold out very quickly.
Did you order heavy?
We ordered a lot, and a lot of people started ordering after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I had enough for probably the first week, and it wasn't the first day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
but I underestimated. I was scared. I was worried. Not a lot was. I don't know.
Would Rory have gotten this one right?
Would Rory didn't do any ordering. All he would do is be like, all right, he'd call you after the fact.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should maybe get more of this. I'm like, all right, that's already been taken care of, dude.
We already ordered it, Rory.
All right, so Diablo Hashcraft says that was the first X-Men book I bought since the last reboot.
What did you think, Diablo?
The last reboot was all right. I didn't hate it, but obviously, as we were getting the news about Hickman taking over, it seemed less and less important with each issue. Having said that, we were still selling X-Men pretty well, but nothing like House of X #1 did. Nothing like Powers of X #1 is going to do. We've upped our order. I've got reorders coming in. I've got second prints Powers coming in. It's going to be, students haven't even shown up yet. It's going to be awesome. X-Men are going to rock and roll. for 3 months on House and let's get this right. It's powers of 10, not powers of X.
They can forgive us for not making that leap, right?
Well, what I'm saying is they're letting us know now that is the case.
Yeah,
so it's no longer Hawks and Pox. It is now Hawks and Pot.
I didn't follow that one though.
Powers of 10, right?
Yeah, no, I know what Roman numerals are.
There, I sneezed.
That was a good one. Yeah, you know, like why are they bothering to correct people? Why are they bothering to mention it? Are they disappointed that nobody understood?
No, but in this next book, I read about 20 pages.
Yeah.
So, Power of X number 1. They get into different timelines. So here's like, mutant kind at ground, and then like 10 years later, and like 100 years later, and then far in the future. And I think the 10 is maybe like 10 years after Xavier started his whole X-Men nonsense. So that's kind of like where we're at. So I think that's without having read everything, I think that's kind of what the power of 10 is. It's like where we are in this story.
Do they mean the power of 10 like mathematically though?
Maybe. I mean, again, I'm not so smart. I didn't read it all, and
I think it's unclear. I mean, it's
I'm not sure. This is just what I'm going on with, just a little bit of story that I read of Powers of 10 to get us to be able to have a little bit of a conversation about it going forward.
DS.
Yeah. But House of X was excellent. The artwork by Pepe Larraz was very good. Enjoyed it quite a bit.
As expected.
Yeah, he's done some really great stuff. He worked on, I think the first thing, I don't think I have any out here where I can show you. He did Thor, the Mighty Thor, when Matt Fraction was writing it. And Pepe Larraz did a story about this kid that got like demons inside him. He's a big heavy metal guy. He liked rock and roll music, and the devil got him.
Naturally.
But it's cool. Like, there's all Thor stuff, but it was pretty sweet. Anyway, that was like one of the first times I remember seeing his artwork. He's doing really good stuff here. He's progressed quite well. And the story at the end of House of X, it's I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't read it yet.
Oh, come on.
Just jokingly. Well, this is going to be hot and heavy. So after this week going forward, if we're going to talk about these books going forward, there's going to be some spoilers. So I'm going to not try. I lost one of our viewers last week when I said, we're going to spoil House of X. He's like, I'm out. So I'm not going to do that with Powers, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. But next week, there's potential going into House of X number 2 that we're going to really start trying to break down a little bit of what we're talking about.
Okay. Is this because there's something there of substance that can be broken down? Because like there's a minimum reduction you can do.
The easy part of talking about House of X is that we are seeing a mutant renaissance, if you will. And they're taking their own. They're what would we say today? They're reclaiming their agency. They realize that they are on the cusp of being like the big bad, awesome dudes, Yeah. And they're going to help humanity going forward.
If by help you mean wipe them out.
Realize that not only are these a people that aren't going to take it anymore, but that they're better than us. And they're going to offer us a future, but humans can't stand that kind of stuff.
No, pride is definitely the problem. Your overlords are here, and step aside.
Right, and not only that, but like we were talking about how the Mutant Menace talked about Orcus and what an Orcus is. Orcus in this book is an organization made up of all these organizations, and you can see like a breakdown on it on who is what and all that other stuff.
You know what Orcus means to me?
I know what it means to you. It means the Lord of the Undead.
Yeah.
A demon Lord of the Undead.
That's a D&D reference.
He's a big fat guy with a cudgel, and he's
an intimidating SOB.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, not Marvel. But that's okay. They can borrow a misspelled version for now.
Well, you know, hey, what it stands for, who knows? And then, like I said, Cody goes into what an Orcus is, if you will. There's a really, really fantastic scene. So in here, the bad guy mutants are also working with our heroes in this new Krakoan civilization of mutants.
Utopia.
Like Utopia, which they've done something like that before when they were hanging out in San Francisco not too long ago. And they called it Mutopia.
Not Utopia.
Not Utopia. Maybe they called it Utopia. I can't remember. Anyway, so these guys like Mystique and Sabretooth and some other baddies, they're working for the side of good, the side of the mutants, if you will. And they're stealing something. And in doing so, some cops get murdered and the Fantastic Four get involved. And the X-Men have to go and like take care of what was going, the situation.
I'm sorry, but that was all very contradictory.
All right. Well, what I mean is, so here we have the Fantastic
for the good guys, but in the process,
well, the thing is like they're stealing something, and we don't really know. I don't think we know exactly what it is.
Who's drinking the Kool-Aid?
Oh man,
somebody's drinking Kool-Aid right now.
That's a very good question. So I'll get into that really quick. I just want to get to this one scene where Scott Summers comes to have a conversation with the Fantastic Four about letting these people go that have been working for him. Talking about immunity and all this other stuff. And at the very end of the conversation, Cyclops is like, "Hey, you might want to let your son Franklin, who's a mutant, know that he has a place with us anytime he's ready." And that's like a big deal. It's like Franklin being like one of the most powerful mutants has been something that's been talked about, and we've witnessed in future storylines ever since like 1984.
What's his costume look like?
Pardon me?
What does his costume look like?
He's like a kid. He doesn't really have a costume.
Is he always a kid, even in the future when he's like?
No, in the future you see his full potential. In fact,
what does it look like? How is it dressed? That's what I'm asking.
Well, in the history of the Marvel Universe that came out this last week by Mark Waid, it's dressed by Galactus being the herald of Franklin Richards.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What does that do to the Silver Surfer? What does the Silver Surfer become?
Silver Surfer don't mean nothing.
Does that mean he's the herald for the herald? Like what? What?
Oh, those guys get replaced being heralds all the time.
His job was taken by a foreigner.
He's had no, please. I don't think that's gonna
or robot.
He's in Hawaii right now. Take it easy.
Reed?
No, Silver Surfer.
He doesn't need sunscreen, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, this book was about getting to know what the situation is. It seemed like it was going to be really hard to read because you have those pages with all that little information and everything. It's not. It's great. It's really easy to read. Nothing is above anybody that hasn't read X-Men before. The really cool thing that Hickman does, he's done it in Avengers for sure. I'm not sure about some of his other books for Marvel, but he does these little languages. And if you can figure out, and there's been things in the book that would like lead you to figure out some of the symbols and what they mean in our alphabet.
It's an Easter egg.
It's like a little Easter egg. And there's like a scene in the book where the humans are like, "Oh, what does that mean?" "Oh, it's gibberish. It doesn't mean anything." Of course it means something.
Of course it means something.
Of course it does. I know my camera's like blurry.
Yeah, it's blurry. It's probably because there's no light on you.
Oh yeah, possibly. We'll have to fix that sometime.
Whatever. I
Hey.
mean, we're not really here to like win beauty contests.
Yeah, and that's good because yeah.
Already won.
one day
that.
one day one of my customers, I had just shaved. I'm baby faced, right?
Yeah.
And he came in and was like, "Oh, what happened to you? You used to be cute." I'm like, really? Oh yeah, like a 10. I'm all. Anytime someone says, "Oh, that's my favorite movie ever," I always ask, like, "Well, what's your second favorite movie?"
You just want to get
the. I gotta know what this list looks like, you know.
Sure.
I'm like, wait, and he's like, "Well, maybe an 8 or something like that." Oh man, you were really grading high.
Oh yeah.
Don't grade my comic.
Very generous. Very nice.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels good though. Flattery is nice sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. I also read Amazing Spider-Man last week.
That Spider-Man has arms.
Yeah, he has arms.
I got the Spider-Man shirt.
The number 26 actually came last week, but this is a double-sized issue. It costs like $8.
Surprise.
Yeah. It was double in length, so it took me a while to actually get around to reading it. I read it and I enjoyed it. It is part Spider-Man story, part Mary Jane story. Mary Jane's in a situation where she's going to a play, and since Spider-Man's doing Spider-Man stuff, Peter Parker can't be with her. So one of his ex-girlfriends goes with Mary Jane, and Mary Jane knows who the person in the play, lady that used to be a rival of hers and getting gigs and stuff like that. Anyway, there's a holdup. She's possibly going to lose her life because of this Electro, a new Electro in the story, and she saves the day. Spoilers, Mary Jane does a good job. It's really good. I liked it a lot. There's some funny moments in it. There's a continuation from all that previous Hunted story involving Kurt Connors, which is the Lizard. And finally, there's an end result that's satisfying. I enjoyed it a lot. The artwork has a bunch of different illustrators. There's the regular artist, Ryan Otley. There's the regular fill-in artist and longtime Spider-Man penciler, Humberto Ramos. Kev Walker does some work. But most importantly, there's some Patrick Gleason in here. And Patrick Gleason is going to be, going forward, one of the new pencilers in Spider-Man, doing the Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm really excited about that. He worked on Superman before Bendis took over and got his artist on it. And he also did Batman and Robin when it was it had Damian as the Robin. And he's a great penciler. I love his stuff. He's been working for DC for a long time. So for him to come over to Marvel is a big deal. For him to get on Spider-Man, it was a big deal. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, pretty good issue. I am looking forward to 26, although I've heard from people that 26 isn't that great.
Oh, that's good. That's
yeah.
So how do you normally feel about Mary Jane?
I like Mary Jane, but I was more of a Gwen Stacy guy. I don't know if it's necessarily because I'm partial to blondes or something like that, but Mary Jane always seemed to be the real flighty kind of, I don't know. She really wasn't in it for the end, kind of. I didn't think that she was the character that was. And also Peter Parker, I don't know, as I was growing up and, you're single and, there's ladies out there and whatnot. Peter Parker was also. And then eventually, he kind of like settles down and is married, and it's kind of weird. I don't know. I've never been the biggest Mary Jane fan. Relationships and comics also, I'm not always the biggest. I kind of like it when it's like in a team book. The one exception I really liked was actually Lois Lane and Superman. I thought they did a really good job in those books for years.
Eli's back.
Say hi. Hey, Eli. How's it going, Eli? I didn't spoil House of X, But, make sure you come in and get it because Powers of X #1 comes out tomorrow. I did not read all of this book. This is Batman Curse of the White Knight. It's an 8-issue miniseries, maxi series. Whatever. It's an 8-issue series following up the White Knight series that Sean Gordon Murphy both wrote and drew. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. It's a alternate Batman story, so it's not it's a Murphyverse. It's not continuity. And in this, Batman's a little bit more psychotic.
Than he already is?
Than he already is.
I mean, because he's basically a psychopath.
Yeah, well, the thing is we found out in the last book when the Joker was running for mayor because he became sane. We found out that the Bruce Wayne was giving to the Batman Fund, which was basically Batman could rip it all up and Bruce Wayne's going to have some money and, to fix it all up. Yeah, and sure. Batman is like the kind of guy that will, he'll drive his car and he'll drift right into flower stands and he doesn't care.
No,
he's
gonna die. It'll be fine.
Exactly. As long as he's getting the bad guy, that's the most important thing. And in the White Knight, we had Barbara Gordon, who is Batgirl, and Nightwing, which is Dick Grayson, and a bunch of other characters that we know. They were really having a problem with Batman and his methodology. At the end of that one, there was a new crime task force, which is kind of superhero led by Nightwing. Anyhow, this is continuing the Murphyverse Batman. In the very beginning, we see that the Joker escapes from Arkham Asylum. And he's back to being a bad guy.
It's so easy for him.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so this is also, you can see it says Azrael on it.
Yes.
So I didn't really get to the part where we get Azrael, but what Azrael is basically this religious person. I mean, unless he changes it, he's basically this religious fanatic, like of this order of people that make him into like this killing machine. And he's Azrael. He has this flaming sword, and he's there to wipe out all bad people.
I hope that his methodology is a little bit cleaner than the X-Men's.
Yeah, well, it's got a flaming sword,
I don't know, that's not a good start.
Anyway, also Bruce Wayne reads a letter that Alfred gave to him after he died in the first story.
Did you cry?
No, it was a nice letter. It didn't make it. It was fine. And there's like some other stuff, and I haven't read it all the way through, but it's I kind of did a lot of other reading and rereading when it came to House of X and stuff like that.
Sure.
But I've enjoyed this. I enjoyed the last series, and I'm looking forward to finishing this story, or at least this issue.
Nice.
And that's it. That's what I've read last week. I read a bunch of old comic books that I've been picking up, and I could tell you about those.
Yeah, do.
I read Sovereign 7 #1.
What year did that come out?
Oh, I'm not exactly sure, but probably like 94. It was
wow.
It was after Chris Claremont was basically kicked off X-Men books from before Jim Lee and other people in the other books.
Was he too good? Was he?
Yeah, he was kind of like old guard, and these are the new guys, and they're going to come in and shake things up. And we don't need this old time guy coming in. And anyway, he went to DC, which was like a big deal, and he created these characters called Sovereign 7, and it flopped. But back in those days, it still ran like 30 issues and had like an annual or two. It was created with Chris Claremont with Dwayne Turner. Dwayne Turner has done like a bunch of stuff over the years. I think some of his first work was with Continuity, which is another thing that I've been collecting lately. Continuity comics. Anyway, that's another thing. We'll talk about those some other days. So anyway, I read the very first issue of Sovereign 7. All I need to do is get the second issue, and I have like the first 13 or 14 issues in a row. Key appearances in this book were the female Furies, which were basically Granny Goodness's uh, a bad guy female team to go out and serve the glory of Darkseid. And Darkseid shows up also, but he's in like a hat and like a trench coat. He almost dressed like the Thing. It's weird.
The Thing?
Oh well, anybody that knows Fantastic Four knows what I'm talking about. The Thing would go down the sidewalk and he'd be in a trench coat and a hat.
Really conspicuous, right?
This guy weighs like 2,000 pounds and is like 6 feet tall and is like wide. Yeah.
And kind of orangish.
Yeah, kind of orange, he's walking down the sidewalk, and like, his footprints are all the time, stepping on in.
Ow.
Yeah, anyway, so Darkseid. Anyway, Sovereign 7, I read that. I've been reading from Comico. I've been reading the first 3 issues of The Justice Machine. This is like volume 3 or something like that.
Were they a good publisher?
Comico?
Yeah.
I think like most publishers, they had money problems, but they had fantastic comic books. Grendel, Aces, Mage, Aces, Elementals by Bill Willingham, who did Fables. He did the art in that also. That was a great book. The Robotech series were really well done.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, they did those. Yeah. They did Johnny Quest for a while. Those were fantastic looking. Great comic books. And some other things. I recently went and got some of their books that they only had 2 issues of. They did this one called A-Z. It was a horrible book, but I think it was done by the publisher, the creator of the company. And there was this other one called Slaughterman, and that one was pretty cool too. I like that.
Only ran 2 issues?
Yeah, 2 issues. That those issues are very. If I ever do anything that's a comic book going forward,
those will be your model.
Those 2 issues are very important to the series that I'm going to do. Let's just say,
all right,
very important.
All right, I'll wait. You let me know when it's ready.
I've told it'll never be ready.
It's your other project.
It's my never project.
Ooh, that's clever. Oh, that's the Forever Never project. I need one of those. Ooh, what are you looking at, man? Porn? You looking at porn, buddy?
I was just looking at the chat.
Oh, so all of a sudden there's this bright white light on you that wasn't there before.
That's what it was. It was the
porn. Yeah, I know that glare.
No, it's on Midnight View or whatever.
Blue screen. Hello. Oh, I heard recently that they're doing away with the red light district in what's that city called in the Netherlands?
Amsterdam.
Yeah. I heard they want to get rid of it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Is it?
I heard. Yeah, you just like walk by and there's ladies.
It's a weird place. It's a weird place, but that stuff is. I find it odd. So I didn't grow up with it, obviously.
If you want to hear stories, you ask people in the military. They get into all sorts of nonsense.
I've heard lots of stories. And they're not usually, well, they're always funny. They're always funny.
They are funny.
Oh, the Navy guys, I think, were bored out of their minds. Like the Navy guys that I worked with, because they're in the military, but they're not Marines. They're not on the ground. They're out in a boat. And until the last like 5 or 6 years, there's been 0 threat to boats. So I think they've just been bored. So I've heard stories about Navy guys sharing a pocket vagina and spreading gonorrhea all over a ship. And lots of good stories. They're always funny.
Comics Misexplained says he's been there.
What, in the Navy?
I would assume the Amsterdam part.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, sure. Hold on.
These are funny, these chats. Oh, yeah. Diablo Hashcraft has Navy stories.
Oh, does he? I love Navy stories, to be absolutely fair.
Oh, really?
Sure. Why not? Like the Navy really does take the smartest. So they get into some trouble. They can.
Very good.
I guess the Air Force would probably fight for the
I don't know. My brother was in the Air Force, and it sounded like all he did was go to Taco Bell or something.
Taco Bell. Ugh. Why would you do that?
He was stuck in Utah. That's why.
Uda.
He could do everything from where he was in Utah.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
They didn't need him anywhere.
Yeah, I guess you can fly anywhere. Doesn't matter.
I don't even think. Well, he wasn't.
Man, I'm real glad they didn't. I'm glad that I didn't get into the Air Force thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
You're just tall enough. I mean, not tall enough to get in.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
My brother, he couldn't fly. He wanted to fly, but he couldn't fly. He also had messed up eyes.
Yeah, my eyes are the problem too.
You can't get corrected vision either. They will not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's different now. But...
Hey, do you remember those glasses that were being advertised for a little while that corrected color blindness?
No, I didn't know that was going on.
It was a thing, and like people, mentioned it to me because I'm colorblind, and I was like, no, I'm just very used to it. Like, it doesn't bother me. So if it bothers you, you buy them. I'm not buying them. But it turns out it was a scam. It didn't work at all. They just changed the way you see color. They don't fix anything. $600.
Hey man, you just want a little taste of what I've got.
$600.
Hey man, $600. That's nothing.
It's nothing if it works. It's a lot if you got defrauded of $600.
Well, I mean, is it fraud? I mean, it's just
it is. It is. Yeah, when you misrepresent facts, yep, that's fraud. That's like the definition of fraud. Yep, that is.
All right, very good.
Did you commit fraud on a regular basis, Uel? I think you do, actually.
You don't know how many comics I said were okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, this book was great. I think you should buy it. I don't own a comic book store that needs you to buy this book. Please get it off my shelf.
Well, there's all right. So investing in comic books is still a thing. People are still buying comics. Speculating is what we call it. Oh, this is a hot issue. Oh, I hear they're going to announce somebody in a movie. A costume change. People are still buying these things, and right now people are buying it because of the internet. They're able to sell it and make a profit. So, like, the last issue of Walking Dead came out. It was 193. Everybody and their mother were coming in when they weren't coming in the last couple issues. For a while, actually, probably for like a year. And they find out about it, and it's like, oh, I haven't come to your store in like 5 years. Yeah, no kidding. You wanted to get something, but you thought I couldn't sell it.
We didn't notice.
Yeah. Exactly. You're in the system. I know the last time you were in, or whatever. What else happened like that? Oh, Marvel Comics presents number 6. There was a new character introduced. I hear it's Wolverine's daughter. That was one. There's a new turtle. Did you hear that in the Turtles number 95 there was one named Jenica? Which Italian Renaissance painter was that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Anyway, it's just there's a new character. Everybody's hot for it now. Well, you should get 96 to 100 because if there's going to be something new, maybe it'll be in there too.
Well,
yeah. They don't. They just want what's hot now.
Right.
It's frustrating. You want to get that stuff just for the person that actually wants it. I have customers that actually want Turtles, or I have somebody that actually wants that copy of Runaways, just because some dorky character got introduced. But we have a subscription service, so it's kind of on you also. Anyhow, speculating is going on, and there's a lot of YouTube sites that are out there talking about what's hot. We only talk about what is important to everything. Oh, this is a big story.
Is that what we do?
Well, I like to try to, not just talk about, I mean, there's the preamble, and then there's the comic books. When we talk about the comic books, I like to try and talk about stuff that people are interested in, not just like the little things that I only have a couple copies of. What's that going to do me? And it really doesn't do you any good if I'm out of it. But, except for in the case of Powers of X, I only have like 5 copies on the shelf. But I got everybody that asked for it covered.
Well, you're that low. You're actually that stretched thin,
dude.
Like
I said, I mean, we're using variants to fill the orders that we have that people want. But hopefully next week I should have number 1s coming back in. Just in time for House of X number 2.
Yeah.
See how it is. And not only that, so there's this thing called the FOC, and a month before comics come out, I can finalize my order. That's what final order cutoff means. And I placed my order, I set it, and then after I set it, that's when the flood of people started asking about it. It's like, oh my God. We've been talking about it for like 3 months, it feels like, on this program. I mean, not that everybody's like, watching and then saying something.
Well,
and we've got a lot of people before the final order cutoff. We got a lot of people in on the book, but I had plenty ordered right here to fill these people's needs and still have a lot for the shelf, especially considering I had all these extra variant covers that were going to be out on the shelf too.
Right, yeah.
But then this started going like that. And now it's like that.
Is this one of those cases where you just don't get one?
Me personally?
Yeah. What are you going to read? You're going to read someone else's book and then sell it to them new?
No, there was a damaged copy.
Oh, that's fortunate.
I was able to read that.
Yeah, that's fortunate.
And that's somewhere here. Anyway.
So what do you do with those? You send them the cover back or something?
Yeah, they're going to ask for the cover back. Yeah, it is what it is.
It is exactly what it is.
What it is. I mean, it was damaged, but I could have easily put it out on the shelf. If someone just cared about reading, it wouldn't have been that big a deal. But unfortunately, in that last one, we wrote the smoke monster bit. I almost called that.
Just a prop. Yeah, no, we don't.
We thought we were so funny, and I could have made $6 on it.
No, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, me too.
Good time.
Anyway, like I said, I read about 15 pages of this. Oh, I love Hickman. He's so good. I really don't need to talk about the book. I just need to tell you about, again, the way he writes a story, the way he crafts it. There's so much that's going on, and it's just going to build upon itself. He also builds upon things that he didn't necessarily write in the past and things he wrote in the past. Just like that Fantastic Four bit. He wrote some of the best Fantastic Four ever when he did his run. And a lot of it had to do with Franklin Richards. And Franklin Richards basically put the Earth together along with his family the way we have it right now in the Marvel Universe, because they were kind of like, oh yeah, hey Franklin, you should think about doing this. And he'd like use his power and he'd make that. And that's what happened after Secret Wars. The Fantastic Four were away and they were basically creating little universes all over the place. And that's how powerful Franklin Richards is. They have in the House of X, they talk about what an Omega level mutant is. It's just he really just expands and creates from things that are already existing in the known Marvel universe, and I think he does a really great job on it. And I'm really looking forward. These series are going to tie in together. They tell you the reading order at the end of House of X. It's going to go House of X, Powers of X, House of X, Powers of X, Powers of X. I'm sorry, Powers of 10. I'm so used to calling it Hawks and Pox that I forget to do that. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to finishing this one. It's been a great series so far, but like I said, you can't judge a meal on the bread. You don't. I need my entree.
Have you ever dined and dashed?
Yeah, like once.
How did it make you feel?
Well, I was younger. I didn't like it, but I was, you do it.
It's a rite of passage, actually.
Well, I got a ticket, so karma got me pretty quick.
Oh, you believe in karma?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I blame me for doing what I did bad, and as a result, I probably paid an extra penance for it.
Yeah. That's reasonable. Very, very reasonable.
Brewhawk can tell you how many, I'm sure.
What?
Oh, she's all into religion.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Like into it? Like, mm-hmm.
I forget. It was a major or something like that? Something school.
Huh? Oh, actually educated.
Educated, yeah.
Okay, not just into it.
Not just into it. Like
Yeah.
really into it. Sorry if I'm
misrepresentations.
yeah.
Not a big deal.
All right, so let's look at a couple more books because
let's.
boring people. We've got Fantastic Four. This is a Dan Slott book. It's got the Thing and the Hulk on the cover, and they're fighting, and that's always a big deal when they're in the book together.
Is the Hulk really that big compared to the Thing?
I think there's been a lot of different versions of the Hulk. Sometimes he's been really super tall. Sometimes, depending if he's like Gray Hulk, he's been a little bit smaller. But yeah, he's definitely bigger than the Thing, I would suggest.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was that. I'm looking forward to it. Dan Slott's Fantastic Four has not been really that great. But anyway, anytime the Thing gets together with the Hulk, anytime the Hulk gets together with Wolverine, those are big issues to pay attention to and usually sell out. And if there's anyone within the run that anybody's going to care about, it's going to be one of those types of issues. Also, at the end, there is a advertisement, if you will, or a small short story for the Future Foundation. The Future Foundation was created during Hickman's run on Fantastic Four, and it's basically all the kids within the Fantastic Four universe, like Franklin and Valeria and the Mole kids, the Moloids, I guess they're called, and a few of the other characters like Dragon Man. They all have like little adventures together. And I want to show you this. What do you think of artwork that looks like that? What do you think about that?
Can you angle it just a little bit?
Yeah, how's that? So this is written by
cartoon. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, exactly. This is written by Jerome Whitley. He just got done doing the Wasp series for the second time. It didn't sell well in the store, and it didn't sell well nationwide. I did not order heavily for Future Foundation. If it's something you want, you should let me know. We have the first part of a new storyline called Ghost Riders or Challenge of the Ghost Riders in Avengers. At the end of the last issue, we saw, I guess it's Danny Ketch is this Ghost Rider, and he's leader of Hell. He's like in control. And the Devil is where the Ghost Rider gets his power, and that's Robbie Reyes. He drives a muscle car, a lowrider, I think. And he has this car right here. And I've really been enjoying Jason Aaron's characterization, his writing of the Robbie Reyes character. I've never really been that big of a Ghost Rider fan, but funny enough, Jason Aaron, when he wrote Ghost Rider 10 or 15 years ago, that was some of my favorite stuff. Good art. I liked it a lot. I've been enjoying his character in here. I've been enjoying the characterization of almost all of the Avengers in this Avengers series. So I expect this to be good. The artwork is by Stefano Caselli, who's good, not great, but tells a good story, so it should be good. Did you know that Heavy Metal still comes out?
Yeah.
Almost always it's like some sort of special issue.
Well, I mean, I imagine they're suffering too.
Yeah. So here we have the Industrial Makeover issue, one of the many covers that comes out. It has artwork inside by Richard Corbin, who's one of my favorite, let's say, independent illustrators. He worked on small press stuff in the 70s, did a lot of horror stuff. He's very popular for having done a lot of Edgar Allan Poe stories, and I'm a big fan of Edgar Allan Poe anyway. He did Den, which was one of the features in the Heavy Metal movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, Den was about the kid who goes to an alien planet and becomes like this Conan guy and rescues women and kills people.
Yes.
Voiced by John Candy, also excellent. Heavy Metal, great movie. I recommend it.
I like Heavy Metal because it always had kind of, well, it's got more of a European feel to it than anything. And I always appreciated seeing stuff like Mobius in there. And that was where I was introduced to, who did the Meta Barons? I can't remember the guy's name.
That would be Jodorowsky.
Yep.
Also Enki Bilal.
Yeah.
He's really good. Obviously, like you said, Mobius. When I picked up Heavy Metal as a kid, there was a lot of Richard Corbin.
Yes, there's always been a lot of Richard Corbin as long as I can remember.
I loved his stuff because, he always drew boobies and things.
Yes.
Really cool muscular dudes and ladies.
Muscular ladies, too. They always look real nice.
Yeah, without a doubt. But this is some of the stuff that you get from Heavy Metal Magazine. We still sell out of it all the time. I usually order about 10 or 15 of them, depending on the issue. And it usually sells out. It takes a little while. People don't realize when it's coming out. It's quarterly, I do believe. Maybe bi-monthly. It's hard to remember. But it comes out. It's also kind of run by Grant Morrison these days. So I think that helps it a little bit. And then there's a few trades that are coming out I wanted to let people know about. We have the X-Men Milestones collection.
I want that coloring book.
Yeah. This is the Mutant Massacre.
Open it up.
I will open it up. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So
they did the coloring for me.
Yeah, they did the coloring for you. These are Uncanny X-Men, X-Factor, New Mutants issues. This is when the Morlocks, who were in the tunnels underneath New York, they are like a sewer band of mutants, a grouping of mutants.
They're called Chud, man.
Yeah, they were the ugly mutants, people that
Mongoloids
couldn't hang and above the sewer. So they were down. So they were called Morlocks, which is based off of H.G. Wells, which
Yep. Okay. Time Machine.
Exactly. And that's where they lived, and they were basically wiped out by the Reavers, which were a gang that were, I think, led by Apocalypse. Sorry if I can't remember correctly. It's been a while since I read this. When I was a kid, they were like, mutants are gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. And I read it, and it was like, hardly anybody died. It was all these lame Morlocks. Who cares? But that's where you get Sabretooth and Wolverine's first fights against each other. So those are really popular. That's where you get Angel, I do believe, losing his wings. And they still can't get over it. So
can't find his wings.
Well, no, he got him. So Apocalypse gave him his wings later on, and he became so sorry, I can't remember. Like one of the horsemen of the apocalypse. I guess Death. Anyway, oops, you're losing my X-Men cred.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Going on this topic.
I'm hot. Whew. Oh, forgive me.
Well, is it warm out there? What?
I'm just trying to make an excuse for why I can't remember. Anyway, X-Men Milestones, Mutant Massacre, Alan Davis, Mark Silvestri, Ann Nesenti, Chris Claremont, one of the greatest writers of X-Men forever. Say what?
Can I see the spine?
Oh, yeah, sure. There you go. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, sure. There was another one that came out recently, and there's going to be another one, the Executioner song. So these milestones are all basically events that happen within the X-Men universe. If you don't want to like read every issue in between and get the epic collections and stuff like that, this is a nice little bite-sized read of the main story that everybody knows. I recommend it. That's why I brought it. It's classic story. If you don't know this, you should get this. If you've got it or haven't got it in a long time and you want to read it again, you should get it. I got plenty of it. But classic stuff all the way. Speaking classic stuff. No. I want to lead into that one. Daredevil's coming out. This is the collection by Chip Zdarsky, who's been writing it. And Chichetto. I forget what his first name is.
I love saying his last name.
It's a great last name.
Zdarsky.
Fantastic art. No, not Zdarsky.
Zdarsky.
So Zdarsky is a Canadian, and he needed to get help from his Catholic friends because he was going to make sure to get the Catholic guilt and angle going on in the Daredevil, because ever since they announced that he was such a person, they always keep going back to the, I'm a Daredevil, I'm a Catholic, I got this
what do they call it? Self-flagellate? Or
oh yeah,
is that where he whips himself because he's not amazing?
Yeah, that's where Daredevil can only go going forward.
That's what it looked like, though. That cover that you just showed, it looked like he had bloody streaks on his back and no shirt on, and that's what it looked like. Which makes him a crazy person. No big deal.
Yes.
So
Daredevil.
Does it look good on the inside?
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's just like the cover. And look at that. What do you think?
I see a lot of red and white glare.
Well, sorry. This is what you get.
Yeah, that looks good.
All right. So I didn't realize I was on an ad page. Yeah. How's that one? Yeah. It's a little bit better. Okay, so we have Elektra Assassin. It just seems like this was collected not too long ago, but we have a new collection. This is drawn by Bill Sienkiewicz, and it's written by Frank Miller. This was after Elektra was killed by Bullseye, and this is a story about her prior to that. And it's fantastic. I like this one a lot. It's sexy. It's got really good spy fun stuff. And I think it holds up very well today.
It looks really good.
It is. Bill Sienkiewicz's. He's a freak. He gets on the internet and he just talks politics all the time. He draws pictures of people that he hates in politics and all sorts of other things. But he's always been a nutbag that way, which is fine. He's always been a very good artist also.
Yeah.
Moon Knight, and growing up, that was by far one of my favorite characters growing up, if only because of Bill Sienkiewicz. The only reason why I have that bust over there is because I love Moon Knight because of Bill Sienkiewicz drawing it. There's good stories that go through all those books, but my goodness, you can just see his evolution as an artist through the very beginning of his work and then all the way to the end of it in that. And then he goes and he does Elektra Assassin afterwards. He also had a stint on the New Mutants, which is fantastic. The Demon Bear Saga is one of the all-time greats also. This guy's just a master. It's a shame that he didn't do more interior layouts and artwork in comic books. He spent a long time inking other people, and I'm sure it was an easy paycheck for him. But we really missed out that he didn't do even more, because he's fantastic. He's just so great. Bill Sienkiewicz. There's a lot of people that are young that just don't know who he is, but he's an all-time great. Top 10 probably. At least as far as modern people are concerned.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I have The Kitchen right here. And The Kitchen is written by Ollie Masters.
Is this a movie out right now?
It is a movie out right now. And I wanted to let everybody know about this because everything I've seen about that movie is not very much like this. Or maybe it is, but it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it to me. In this, you have 3 Irish women and they are not married necessarily to their beaux who go to prison. And they're all part of a gang. They're all Irish gang members, and they go away. And these ladies go out and start collecting the funds that are owed to their respective others who are in prison, and they start running the show. So then there's a situation where the guys get out of prison and they're going home, and they find out that their doors are locked. You know, their keys, their changed their locks, so they can't get in, and they don't know what's going on. And they've hired people to protect their interests, and it's fantastic. They have all sorts of communications with other gang members or mafioso members, and it's a really fun read. I liked it a lot. It's violent. It's set in the 70s. The artwork really goes along with it a lot, and this is a fantastic series. I liked it a lot. I liked it quite a bit. Look at those high shorts there that she's wearing.
I love it. Yeah, no, and the bullet through the brain, just bam.
Yeah. There's some fantastic stuff when they meet up with the Jewish gangsters. It is such a great scene. I loved it. And some people are unhinged, and you don't know who's all going to be working with who. And it's just a really good series. Kitchen is excellent. I don't know how that movie's going to be, but this is the source material.
How long ago did the source material come out?
A couple years ago. We were definitely doing it, talking about it in one of our shows.
Okay, I don't remember.
I liked it a lot then, and I'm not really into gangstery, shoot 'em up type stuff. But man, if you want some broads that are some broads that are taking charge,
go ahead, man. No big deal.
It's really good.
It's F-bomb good.
It's F-bomb good.
That is the first on the show, and never before. Never before.
I didn't do it. I cut myself.
It's not like we're gonna lose out, man. Don't worry.
So there you go. There's some stuff that's coming out tomorrow. Just to let Diablo Hashcraft know, Floppy Cop number 4 is coming out.
He already said hold it.
Very good. I need
to make an effort to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go back and read chat.
Or? I do. I try to. Yes. When I'm going back and saying what we sold and what I reviewed and stuff like that, I try and also watch the chat at least a little bit. It's tough, but I get around to it.
Well, I'm just wondering. Well, we can talk about it after the show, but I was just wondering if we should set some kind of protocol so that if anybody mentions you, I should mention it to you so that you notice. Or
yeah, and I think everybody here follows us on Instagram. Also, you can always contact us that way. Of course, you could always. Look at this! Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, looking forward to that. Tarantino's great. I don't know how you feel about him. We like Jackie Brown in this house.
Well, Jackie Brown's great. Jackie Brown's great movie.
Great movie. Great.
I'm really tired though, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to keep everybody up so late this time.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I just, it's another day.
It's always another day, man. That is never going to stop. It's always. I was just thinking we could wind it down though, and because I need to talk to you for a little while after the show.
Yeah.
Is that good with you?
I love it.
Okay. Thank you all for showing up, and sorry about that delay. And your persistence is much appreciated. So thank you, and good night from me.
And good night from me. And we'll see you next Tuesday at 8.
Yeah, normal time. Maybe. Let's update the computer. All right. See you guys.